My name is Chloe, and today I'm here to talk about all the books coming out in October of 2025 that I am so excited about. So this list, normally, I've talked about it. It takes me a long time to compile them, research them, do all the things, but normally I will try to get like a big chunk of time to do one step or the other. And this time I had to chunk it into 1,000 different moments in time. And so my descriptions may be a little bit brief. I also have 20% left on my iPad. And so we're going to see how long that lasts. You guys know this iPad can be a little glitchy. So let's just get into it. The first one is October 2nd. We have A Lot to Unpack by Portia Macintosh. So this is a, let's see, it says a forced proximity workplace romance and arrivals to lovers. So if you like any of those tropes, this may be for you. This is about a woman who works for a dating app. She has to take a trip to New York with her boss, and I think she is trying to like swipe a contract or something from under his nose, but they find out they have more in common than they think. Of course, that is how it always happens. Then we have October 6th, Suddenly Mine by Kate Evergreen. So this is a revised and extended version of a book that was previously called My Christmas Billionaire. So she has been hurt over Christmas many times, so she's like a kind of a Scrooge, and she's working in a very Christmassy department store. She bonds with like the door greeter, but what she doesn't know is his family is the one that like owns the department store. So that's cute. I think it's cute. Then October 7th, we have Heartsick, and this is by Kristina Forrest. So this is a YA romance about a girl who's an intern at a place called Healing Hearts Inc. And it's a company that made a pill that can erase like any heartbreak. So you get your heart broken, you take this pill, you're good, you don't remember it. And she's had her heart broken, but she's not sure she wants to like forget her ex. So she's like, I don't know, do I take the pill and forget him, or do we leave this here because it's better to have loved and lost or whatever than to never love at all. Then her ex comes in wanting the pill. And so she's like, well, if he's over it, whatever. I think we get both perspectives, and he doesn't actually want to forget her. I don't really know. They overhear a secret though about the pill. And then I think they're kind of bonded together trying to I don't know. This sounds a little dystopian, and I love that. Then we have The Intruder by Freida McFadden. You guys, I can't not include a Freida. So this is about a hurricane that's coming, and a woman sees a young girl covered in blood outside of her window, and she's holding a knife and won't explain. Of course, the girl has a dark secret that she would kill to protect. I don't know. I know this is not going to be a literary masterpiece, but I am hoping it's great. Then we have Three Blue Hearts by Lynne Kelly. So this is the same author as The Song for a Whale, and this is about a boy and the octopus that he rescues. So this is a middle grade. I love octopus books. I have not read Song for a Whale, which some of you guys, if you are my middle grade people, you're going to probably yell at me for that because I know it's been great. I know it's great, and I haven't read it, but then there's this one. And then we have Finding Lost by Holly Goldberg Sloan. So this is a middle grade about a girl who's looking for that feeling of safety, and her dad was killed. Her mom wants to leave her hometown, and she's like, no, I don't want to leave my bubble. I'm already feeling kind of threatened. So she finds a stray dog, and it helps her. And this looks really sweet. Then we have The Second Story Bookshop by Denise Hunter. So Denise Hunter used to be, I think, a Christian fiction author. Now she's more of just a clean author. I'm not really sure. But this is about a woman who inherits a bookshop of her dreams, but she has to run it with the ex she vowed she would never speak to again. So I think this is going to be a sweet story. I really love this cover. I'm trying to hold this so you don't get awful glare from the windows, but we'll see. Then we have Words Apart, and this, I think, is a graphic novel about two sisters. Let's see, is this a graphic novel? It's a hybrid middle grade novel, so it's not graphic, that explores the fraught relationship between sisters as they navigate their differences and their parents' divorce, beautifully told in words and comic panels. So the two sisters are very different. One expresses herself through words, poetry, crosswords, definition. The other kind of struggles with words, and so she does pictures, comics, all that kind of stuff. The dad takes a job out of town. The girls drift apart, and then they come back together. So I love sister stories. I especially love middle grade sister stories, and my daughter is very into mixed media things, and so I'm hoping this will be a great one for her. Then we have Years for the Season by Emily Stone. So I have not loved Emily Stone in the past. One I really didn't like, and one was okay. But this says, could a fake relationship with your ex over Christmas in Scotland be the perfect opportunity for revenge or a second chance at love? So why do I keep picking these up? I don't know. Then we have Overdue by Stephanie Perkins. So this is about a librarian feeling pressured to marry her longtime boyfriend. So they decide to take a 1-month break. And you guys, I love After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And so many books that are like that kind of take a break idea. And so they decide to take a 1-month break to date other people and then decide if they want to reunite. So a librarian doing that sounds great. Then we have Told You So by Mayci Neeley, maybe. And I don't know anything about her, but this is a memoir of a mom talker, which I'm not on TikTok, so sorry. But a mom talker, and she was on Secret Life of Mormon Wives. And I'm just really interested. This sounds really good. Then we have Mhairi McFarlane cover story, and this says 2 office rivals, 1 secret mission. Now all they need is the perfect cover story. So this one is office rivals who have to fake date. We'll see. Then A Merry Little Lie by Sarah Morgan. So Sarah Morgan comes out with a Christmas book every year, and I am a sucker for them. I love them. This is not my favorite cover. Normally they're great, but this is about a woman who's stranded in an airport, and she runs into her brother's best friend, and they decide to drive home together. Her twin sister's marriage is falling apart. There's a new girlfriend coming to the family Christmas. You know, there's all sorts of things going on, and somebody's lying about something, I guess. But I would read this regardless. A Hidden Hope by Suzanne Woods Fisher. So this is an Amish book about medical students. And you guys know I love me some Amish books. I love like a hospital med student kind of thing. And so, I mean, and I love Suzanne Wood Fisher. At least I have in the past from what I've read. So there's this. It's also just a beautiful cover. Then we have Annie Raines, The Christmas Keepsake. So I have a love-hate, mostly hate relationship with Annie Raines, but I just keep picking them up again. This is about a woman who has to direct a Christmas play for her grandma's community theater because her grandma now has Alzheimer's. And she learns more about her grandma through some journals. She has a romance. Like, just please be cute. Please be cute. Then we have Little Pieces of Light by Emma Scott. So Emma Scott promises a emotional book. So this is a YA about kids who like had crushes on each other as like 10-year-olds, and now they're meeting back up. It's still YA, so I think they're still like 17, 18. But he's a rower to distract from his dad's illness. She's flawless but crumbling under her dad's expectations. Her mom is having some sort of substance abuse issues. And so I don't know how much I buy like the second chance-ness of 10-year-olds reuniting as 17-year-olds, but I do trust Emma Scott. Then we have Snowkissed by RaeAnne Thayne. So this is a single mom not feeling Christmas this year. She has to go to her ex's family wedding, and she needs a fake date because she's like, oh yeah, I got a boyfriend. I can do that. So yeah, sounds cute. RaeAnne Thayne typically is pretty cute. Then we have Good Days, Bad Days by Emily Bleeker. This is about a woman who was taken out of her home at like 15 by CPS because her mom was a hoarder and her dad was like just not wanting to parent. And so now she's in her mid 40s and her parents have been strangers to her, but her dad is like, hey, your mom is not doing well. She's in memory care. Let's revisit this. And so she does. Then The Nanny Outside the Gates. This is by Shari J. Ryan. So this is a Kindle-only book, and it takes place in Auschwitz in 1944 about a woman who she was raised in the orphanage, and now she works there, and she wants to find out who her parents were. But then so she's taking care of babies and stuff, and then realizes her mom was Jewish. So what implications does that have now? I don't know. Then we have The Baby on My Doorstep. So this is about a woman. It says, this is my daughter's baby, or my sister's baby, but I thought my sister was dead. So she thought her sister died like a year ago, and somehow this newborn is on the doorstep, and she does DNA and finds out it's her sister. So then this is October 8th, A Scottish Christmas Hideaway. So, but by Ellie Henderson, and this is Kindle only, brother's best friend, Christmas romance. Again, this is a cover grab, so I'm guilty. Christmas covers get me every time. Then The Old Gal's Bucket List by Karen King. I saw this on NetGalley and I had to get it just because of the title, truthfully, but this is about 2 older ladies deciding to kind of reclaim their life, and you know, they're in their 60s or whatever, but they're gonna find romance again. Then we have October 12th, The Monday Night Heartbreak Club. So this is by Jane Lovering, and I've read some by her. And this is about a woman. She's dumped on Valentine's Day, and she finds this club that's all for brokenhearted people, and she falls for the bartender, I think. But we follow like 5 different perspectives, all of their different heartbreaks, and it sounds cute. Then October 14th, we have Remain by Nicholas Sparks and M. Night Shyamalan. So if you have not heard of this book, I'm surprised because this is everywhere. But because this is a very unlikely pairing, Nicholas Sparks is a male romance author. M. Night Shyamalan directs a lot of like thriller movies. I don't know what they're called, suspense. But this is about an architect that goes to Cape Cod to design his best friend's summer home. And he wants a fresh start after he was in a psych ward for depression. And he had lost his sister. But his sister confessed she would see spirits, which is a gift that runs like in their family. But he doesn't really believe it. But then he meets a girl at the summer home that makes him question everything. And so is this going to be romance? Is it going to be paranormal? That is probably really distracting. Sorry. We'll see. Then we have Sense and Suitability by Pepper Basham. So she is a Christian fiction author, and this is a clean Regency rom-com about a woman with a scandalous past and an even more scandalous secret. She swears off love until the man who broke her heart needs her help. What could possibly go wrong? Perfect for fans of Tessa Dare, Eloisa James, looking for a low-spice Regency romance. So there's that. Then Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I'm nervous this is going to be the opposite. Is she steamy, B.K. Borison? I'm not sure. But this is about, he's the ghost of Christmas past, and she's like a people pleaser. She always does what she's supposed to. She meets everybody's expectations. She's not sure why he's coming to her because like the ghost of Christmas past normally goes to like people who are struggling to be like, hey, turn it around. So not really sure why, but there's that. Then Christmas Fling by Lindsay Kelk. So I have a love-hate relationship with Lindsay Kelk, but more on the love side. This is about two people that have met 3 times. One she doesn't remember, one he doesn't remember. And now she, for some reason, lets herself into his apartment while he's naked. And his parents stumble in and think that's his girlfriend. And I don't know. It's just a mess. So they play along and they go to the Scottish Highlands for Christmas, I think, with his family. But then more hijinks ensue. So then The Secret Christmas Library. Jenny Colgan, I don't typically love her, but I do love this cover. I love this title. I don't even know. This is about a woman who hunts out antique books, and she's hired by a Scottish man who owns a crumbling castle to go look because there's this book, and he thinks it's in the castle. And so she goes, but there's also somebody else trying to beat her out. I don't know. You guys, my hopes aren't high, but we'll see. Then we have Strong as a Girl by Kate Rope, Your Guide to Raising Girls Who know, stand up for, and take care of themselves by Kate Rope. So she wrote Strong as a Mother, and that book was okay for me, but this is targeted at elementary school, like parents of elementary school girls, in the hopes of like creating a strong foundation before they get into the turmoil of middle school and high school. So as a mom of a bunch of girls, this sounds great. Then we have Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon. Gosh, I'm sorry for the glare. This is about a sentimental advertising creative and a blunt, no-nonsense bar owner, and they find a second chance at love while binge-watching iconic holiday movies. So both of them are widows or widowers, and their moms are trying to match them up, but they have this friendship. They decide to do this holiday movie marathon over the season, and they share grief and life. I think she has kids, so this sounds cute. Then we have... I'm going to fix that window. Hold on one second. Okay, we're back. So we have Date Night in December by Jacqueline Snow. And this is about a marriage in trouble that comes back together and figure things out. But I don't know if this is steamy or not. So my expectations are muted. Then we have And Then There Was One by Martha Waters. So she writes like kind of, I think, funny historical romance. So this is a historical romance set in the 1930s England with a murder mystery twist. A couple is investigating what might be a murder. Then we have The Man Next Door by Sheila Roberts. So this is a recently broke divorcee who moves in with her housebound mother, only to spend their days spying on grumpy, mysterious new neighbor. So this sounds fun. Then What Comes Next by Caitlin Forbes. So this is about a woman who has some struggling relationships. She has a dog training business, and she has a twin sister, and their mom dies of a genetic disorder. And so the girls have like a 50-50 shot of getting it. They're going to get tested, but before they get tested, they're kind of figuring out how to live their lives or how they want to live their lives in the off chance that it doesn't go well. Then we have Coach by Jason Reynolds. So this is a companion to his track series, and it's the coach as a young boy. So I think you can read this as a standalone. It's about a boy who has goals of being a track star, his home life, all of that. I think you can read it as a standalone, but it's in companion to his track series. Then we have The Girl in the Cellar by RaeAnne Webb. So this is it sold me because it's for fans of Freida, John Mars, Becca Day, all authors I like, about a girl who's kept in the cellar. Then we have Home This Christmas by Sue Roberts. This is about a woman who goes home for the first time in years, and her first love is a co-judge in a gingerbread contest. And so, yeah, they get snowed in. She hurts her ankle. There's caretaking, childhood sweethearts, second chances, and one magical Christmas. Need I say more? Then we have The Twin Sister. This is October 16th, The Twin Sister by Yvette Davies. So this is about a woman who's jealous of her twin sister, and her sister gets in a wreck and dies, and she pretends to be her and takes over her life, and finds out obviously her life was not quite what she expected, and there's more to it, and somebody knows her secret. And so, of course, this is going to probably require some suspension of disbelief, but so it goes. Then we have Two Truths and One Lie by Alex Sinclair. So this is a neighborhood party gone wrong where they play two truths and a lie, and somebody's got a sinister lie and a confession that shatters everything. So you guys know I love my suburban mama drama. Then we are on, October 21st, The Widow by John Grisham. So this is about a man he's a lawyer. His marriage is falling apart. He gets this very wealthy widow as a client who is wanting a new will. And so then she gets in a car wreck. She's hospitalized. Somehow he's implicated in a murder, and he has to find the person who actually did it to clear his name. I don't know. John Grisham is great. Then we have Debbie. Oh, Debbie, A Fairy Merry Christmas. So this is about a brother and sister, I think, that get stranded on a ferry in the middle of Puget Sound, and their way to finding romance. I don't know. Debbie, I feel like she's been phoning it in a little bit lately, but I'll always try her. Then we have The Bell Tolls at Traeger Hall by Jamie Jo Wright. So I have not read her before, but this is 1890. This is about an orphan who is trying to figure out why her aunt and uncle were killed in this old manor. And then we also get the present day and this still haunting of this manor. I don't know. I've heard she does really creepy books, but in a Christian fiction lens. And so I'm here for it. Then we have Isn't It Obvious by Rachel Runya Katz. And this is after a meat disaster, a podcaster and her producer fall in love over email without realizing they know and hate each other in real life. Then we have The Christmas Ring by Karen Kingsbury. I'm a Karen Kingsbury fangirl. But this, not all of her books. Honestly, The Bridge has the best cover ever, but I didn't love it. This is while searching for her family's missing Christmas ring, a military widow sparks a friendship with a handsome antiques dealer who just might have the love and the lost heirloom she's been longing for. So then we have A Little Holiday Fling by Farah Heron. So this is about a woman who loves Christmas and loves the UK. So she decides to fulfill her mom's dream of opening a cottage of some sort or buying a cottage in the UK. And she has no hotel experience. So I guess she's wanting to open a hotel of some sort. And he has a whole bunch of experience. He's a Grinch and he wants help with his big family. So he's like, hey, I'll help you if you help me. But then they fall in love and she's about to move. So we'll see. Then we have Real Love by Addie Wooldridge. So I think this is a YA about two teens who must keep their working and romantic relationship a secret from their grandmas who are social media rivals. Their grandmas. I think this is just so great. I love it. Then we have The 8 Heartbreaks of Hanukkah, and this is about a woman who is producing a live action televised musical of the Christmas Carol, but then she has this migraine and it sidelines her so she can't do her job. Her ex-husband kind of steps in and she is hallucinating ghosts of Christmas past, and they all lead her back to her husband. So I think, again, it's a second chance for the marriage. Then This Is a Safe Place or Space by Lucinda Berry. This is an Audible exclusive, so it's only audio, about a therapist who discovers a connection between her patient and her own family. Lucinda Berry is better, a little higher quality than Freida, but kind of has the same popcorny feeling. So Audible exclusive. So I don't know that I'll be reading this because I don't have Audible, but then we have October 22nd, Perfect Wives by Lauren North. So this is about 3 women who all confess to the same murder, and they're all lying. So I don't know what the story is there, but 3 identical confessions, 3 perfect liars. Then we have the Cornish Christmas Book Club, which is really just a title grab for me. But this is 2 people thrown together at the Village Book Club. She needs a job. He needs help connecting with the community. They battle over a spot and like a building. She wants to open a cafe. He wants to open a bookstore. It says enemies to lovers, small town, Christmas workplace romance, with forced proximity, best friend's brother, and single parent. That is a lot in one book. Then we have October 23rd, My Daughter's Baby by Kate Hewitt. So I have loved Kate Hewitt in the past, so I always grab her stuff, even though, I don't know. This is about a woman's estranged daughter. She dies during childbirth, and she wants to fight the husband for custody because the husband is the reason they're estranged. He has a lot in his past, and she doesn't really know what would her daughter have wanted, all of that. So I don't think this is going to be like thrillery, maybe, but I think it's going to be more just drama. Then we have October 28th, Anne of Avenue A by Audrey Bellezza and Emily Harding. This is a book about, it's a retelling of Persuasion by Jane Austen, I think. This is nearly a decade after Anne and Freddie's fateful romance. The only thing they still have in common is a desire to leave their relationship firmly in the past. But between a disastrous off-Broadway show and a drunken Thanksgiving dinner, nosy neighbors, and flirtatious friends, Anne and Freddie suddenly find their lives more intertwined than ever before. When old feelings start to rise to the surface, they must decide whether to put their hearts on the line or walk away all over again. So, sounds sweet. Then, While It Was Snowing by Julia London. This says, under the mistletoe, a single mom and a professional athlete realize they have more in common than the lake house they unexpectedly have to share for the holidays. You guys, I'm a sucker for these Christmas romances. Then Calling All Blessings by Beverly Jenkins. So she is an author that is interesting to me. I've never found anything that I love by her, but this takes place in Kansas, which I always am looking for. And this older woman is kind of haunted by her wedding day where she is about to get married and gets jilted because she finds out her husband is already married. And so she was pregnant at the time. So she has a son by him, and he also has another son. And that son comes looking to meet the brother. Now we're many years later. And so the past comes back up, and I think this is like a Christian fiction. We'll see. Then Never Over by Claire Gilmore. So this is about a girl who wants to be a songwriter, but she can't remember like the feeling of heartbreak. And so she asks her ex to come back into her life, which seems like a terrible idea, but he agrees. They have a second chance, Then Wreck by Catherine Newman. So this is not listed as a sequel to Sandwich, but it's the same author and it's the same family. So in Sandwich, we follow this woman named Rocky. She is in the sandwich generation where she's got her parents and her kids that she is taking care of both. And now and that's in Cape Cod. This is 2 years later back at home. And so I don't know what's really going on. I know she becomes like obsessed with a car wreck and also some sort of illness that she's hoping is not going to be a part of her family, but I'm assuming it is. It says you can pick it up as the first book, so we'll see. I loved Sandwich, so we'll see. I really wanted more from Sandwich though. But last is That's a Great Question I'd Love to Tell You by Elise Myers. If you don't follow Elise Myers on social media, please do. She is on the spectrum and she is hilarious. So she does both like things that make me laugh as well as things that make me more sensitive, I think. And she is releasing this book October 28th, and she is going on tour for like book press, and it all sold out in like minutes. And so I would love to see her, but this is going to be so good. So that is everything that's coming out in October that I'm excited for. Like I said, some of those descriptions were a little bit short because it was just a piecemeal kind of month, but there's a lot of potentials and a lot of good Christmas books. So let me know which ones you are most excited for and what I should maybe prioritize. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.